What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're gonna be looking at ICM adjusted PKO range for defending your big line. So late in the tournament, you need to pay attention. This is gonna tell us here how deep we are in ICM. For that, we need to figure out whether or not we defend. Do we cover? How deep are we? So let's try to figure this out. I looked at one or two and they're extremely wide, so.
I think you fold this.
Yeah, I would probably fold. Yeah. We don't cover, so we don't need to be wide here, right?
You're also 18%, so like you're getting kinda close.
Yeah, so when we don't cover, this is. Very similar to an ICM kind of range, right?
Yeah, pretty tight, like your offsuit combos are nuked. Jack ten, notice Jack ten, which is pretty wild.
What's going on with Jack ten?
It's mixing folds. As a big blind defense.
Cause you're covered. I've never folded that. I don't know, I've always landed on the call when I rolled the dice.
5% of the field left. I think I fold.
This should probably be bigger, right?
Yeah, I think I'm folding. This is gonna be more of a call range than previous. No, it's calling. It's actually like 0.1.
Oh, did you see that we covered here?
Oh, I did not see that he V-pipped. No, I did not. That
Me?
is my mistake.
Yeah.
That's kinda interesting. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. Like, you get a cheap price to get in there, see a flop.
Would you
Cover.
call it 6-3 off? Fold.
Probably not. Maybe 6-4. I think I would probably let 6-3 go.
Ah,
Kinda curious, though. First question I have is, are you completing if the small blind doesn't call? Second question was 6-3, and it is break even, which is interesting.
So when you cover, it goes like really wide from the big line.
So
So,
yeah, remove that small blind caller, and let's see if you're completing at 5% of the field.
yeah, for sure, it's never gonna call, right?
Maybe, it might, I don't know. The other one was pre-money bubble, this is post-money bubble.
So small blind wouldn't be there.
Yeah, just remove that and see what we look like. 6-5, yeah, so it is a little wider. You can get in there with 6-5 now that we're post-money bubble.
Yeah, so pretty wide, right? Well, this is a call. Pretty late deep in the game.
Stack versus deep stack. I think this
So
is
we cover him. Do we defend this?
Yes. I think we do.
18% left. We're almost on the bubble.
I just think
I don't-
it's gonna want us to defend. I would fold, but it's gonna want us to defend, I think.
Yeah, I think I would fold.
No? Okay, cool.
You need to be wide, but how wide? Not 10-3 wide.
10-6 offsuit is where we start getting there. It likes to raise a 10-7 offsuit, which is interesting.
I thought 10-3 was better than 5 deuce, but guess you can.
5 deuce can make straights.
Yeah, true. This is definitely a call.
If we cover, yeah. How wide do you?
It's probably gonna be 9-8 offsuit wide. I don't know how wide. Fuck me. 7. Jack 7 off is an interesting fold in this case. I guess it's because it's from early position.
Yeah,
The general theme seems to be it likes to take from that bottom left corner. Right? This far south, the southwest. That's where it wants to start taking out our folds so far.
oh my god.
Yeah, that's a
I guess just cuz you
interesting
cover.
call.
Yeah. So basically, Frank was telling me how wide it was,
So you cover, so there's no way you're folding this.
right?
Yeah, that one's easier.
And this is 20% of the field left, is that right?
That was 5% just now. So it's variable. It's been going from like 18 to about 5. So it's just probably all of the ICM ranges. Yeah, you're not folding suited cards.
Not folding pairs either.
You're not
It
jamming.
doesn't look like a jam.
10% is like right after the money bubble, so maybe you do jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sixes versus
I'll
flop,
jam.
let's go. Almost.
Just seems like a call.
We're covered here. He's gonna call.
Yeah, it's okay. We need to double up.
Ah,
There you go.
So a heuristic, Alex, is like, you need some pretty strong forces for you not to be jamming pairs versus say steal.
Mm.
You're typically, especially from like sub 30 region, you're almost always gonna be okay to be jamming pairs versus somebody opening in late position.
And at what point does it start calling? Or does it ever?
Well, I mean, like if you're on the money bubble,
Yeah.
like you'll probably start mixing in calls with some of that region, but typically you're just jamming.
Well, I mean, no, after the money bubble we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if you do. Unless you're really deep.
35 bigs maybe.
Alright, multi-way scenario, facing 2 big stacks. I think I just fold here. I'm
We're
folding.
double covered, right?
I'm
Oh my
folding.
god, no. What are you doing, Galen?
Alright,
You have
pause.
to
Before you click some buttons, Alex, why do you wanna call? What is
I
your
wouldn't.
mental
I wouldn't. That
adjustment?
just feels like the trend is with the solver so far has been that it won. Actually, no, wait. I think it actually will fold this because we're going to be dominated by under the guns range, and then low jack is going to have cards that dominate us further. So I think
But
this is a fold.
you're not gonna go broke with this hand. You know,
Yeah.
you're not gonna hit a jack and then go broke with it. So I think it's just a call.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think
Maybe it does
I think
call.
I think I'm
it's
folding.
Mixing.
It's
Maybe mix.
75% of it's 75% of the field. I mean, we are a little bit deeper. It's like I could see maybe it's still calling, but I think I fold 0.06. Okay.
Mm.
And he says call. Even jack 8, it wasn't even that close.
Yeah, actually, it was 75% of the field, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't even in the money.
No,
Wasn't
no,
even
no,
close
no,
to
no. This is still in registration period. Like there's still a lot of registration to go.
that. I'm probably wrong. Yeah, I don't know
50%.
how do we know how far it is?
Because it actually says it's just very small print on the bill of the screen.
Well, I'm on my phone, so that's probably why I can't see it. All right.
So this one,
Perhaps.
10-6 off at 50% field.
Fold.
We don't cover.
So what's the worst chippy V combo you're calling here?
10-5,
Excluding
10-4,
bounties.
10-5.
Okay, that seems reasonable. I think this is probably riding the line, of indifference, maybe 10-7. Like, it's not gonna make a lot of money. You're covered. There's a slight ICM adjustment. Yeah, maybe folds. I think it's gonna mix calls and folds. It's probably indifferent.
Even if you're calling here, even if you do call, it's a very marginal spot that you could be not blamed for avoiding.
Sure, this one's pretty easy. Even at 25%, I think you're just calling this kind of a hand.
Okay, 25%. And then what do you do with like king jack suited? There? Just put it in, suited jacks,
King.
suited tens?
Probably not
Pair?
bad, Louis. Probably not bad. Maybe your tens are better than your jacks, though.
And then
I
how
don't know.
aggressive are you with pairs?
This guy's also got a pretty robust bounty here, so like we're really encouraged to get it in. So
Yeah,
maybe-
you're just gonna be very, very, very aggressive here. All your pairs,
Peter wants
most
to
of your
play.
suited Broadway.
I'm
Oh,
gonna be very jam heavy here. Yeah, let's go.
That's the pairs.
So it's
oh,
actually
the
not even
jacks
your
and the
suited Broadway.
tens.
It's not your suited Broadway, it's the suited gappers.
That's kind of aggressive, right? Suited eights. I don't put
Yeah, I
suited
mean,
eights on the bubble. What about you?
well, it's 50%, so it's like still pretty far from any bubble play.
25%.
Oh,
25,
25, you're right,
yeah.
you're right. I guess that is pretty aggressive. I'm not doing a lot of that.
Cause he's opening like, what?
Could we, so this is
Nine?
25% of the field left. We're like getting towards the money bubble here and we're jamming with
Jack
queen
eight.
eight suited.
Jack eight, 10 8, and then you
Jack
can
10
do it,
off.
Alex, and then win the flip. Then blame the solver for it. It's great.
Hmm.
Should
Well,
try
the
it.
reason we're doing it is we're attacking the bottom of his offsuit range. So if his bottom of his offsuit range is nines and tens, queen eight is gonna get better hands to fold and is gonna be pretty robust with its equity when it's called.
Yeah, it's like, it's not a hand you want to like try and take to the streets necessarily.
I mean, you
But
get
you
plenty better
you
to
are shoving king
fold.
seven. You're shoving king seven and king six well suited, right?
Because
Yeah,
they
so-
have
tens
blocked the
there.
bottom of his offsuit opening range, which is offsuit nines and offsuit tens. And king's even better because it has it has a more relevant blocker to the value.
So. This is amazing. So we don't cover here, so it's like very deep stack. So what do you do with your offsuit tens here? You call them all? Or you
Your
fold?
offsuit tens.
Yeah, do you mix with jack ten?
Oh.
You're kinda deep, so I think you're gonna be doing more calling than we're suspecting. So it's like your sevens.
And this is really,
And it's 75% of the field is the other part.
6-3 off is in there.
maybe it would be easier to just. Focus on one portion of the tournament, no? Jumping from 75 to 18 is the.
Well, you have
Yeah.
to like, I mean, it's good practice, but it is a little more challenging just because you have to like recalibrate your brain every time. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you bluff with a hand like this sometimes.
Under the gun? Nah,
Where are you bluffing from?
Yeah, it's good. It's a raise.
it looks like it's good. I would bluff like,
Yeah, the obvious ones we know, which are like the high-low ones, right? Um. But I mean, I'm not doing a lot of this. I'm playing call here mostly. I am trying
good
to
question,
identify
where
them.
do we bluff from?
Well, as you get deeper and deeper, you start pulling from the suited stuff. So you can see it's pulling the suited wheels, the 5-4, the 6-5. It's just gonna start pulling in some of the higher equity stuff that's gonna be able to play post flop better because this guy's gonna call you a lot when you 3-bet him.
That's quite a big raise. So we're folding.
Okay, what do you do with 10-6?
Yeah, man, like the worst ones, you might actually like bluff him sometimes with, but it's a PKO and you're covered 18% of the field. I don't think we're getting out of line here. I think you're just folding.
Do you think you're folding 10-7 off?
Yeah, I'm folding probably 10-8 off.
What do you do with ace seven off?
I ain't folding 10-8 for sure.
Ace seven, eight, eight, ace eight. Not
Oopsie.
raising.
See,
It
bottom
is,
of the range warrior here.
yep. You
In
found good
there,
point of
10-8.
indifference.
I'm gonna fight with it.
Hey,
You
you
can't
just have to
remember that?
remember,
Good to you?
like
Ugh.
against this really big size, like your suited hands are gonna play better in position. And because you have bounty access to so many other players, you don't really want to play a big pot with a marginal hand here.
We're supposed to bluff it back to, and we make it 11.
I am not gonna crash. Gonna go ahead and say that. That would be a bad day.
Yeah.
It
3-bet with the queen jack offsuit.
feels like an easy call here. What do you,
Following the logic, I think jam.
You're
well,
6 to
it's
8.
a little bit different. It's a little bit different, Alex, because this guy is opening from the low jack. We are soft bubble. You know, I wouldn't be like shocked if I saw it do something like that, but I feel like,
What do
mm,
you think is the play here? Do we wanna keep the guy in the hand and see the flop and play for
No,
his bounty, or we put it in
I think it's-
flop?
I think it's a jam.
I agree.
I don't think this is a jam ever.
I wouldn't be absolute, like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if it does, but, I'm not doing that versus low jack. Maybe it does take some of these middling
Yeah,
suited
maybe just a
gappers.
call.
We gotta keep
I
that
think
guy in for his booty. We don't wanna push him off the hand.
Probably
This
makes
hand
sense.
flops really well, and I think you're just gonna be pretty linear with high cards and pairs.
Yeah, so Jack 10 flops
10
pretty well
jacks.
too, though.
Yeah, I was really curious what we were gonna do with
Hmm.
pairs.
10-9, that's a
Outside
call,
of
but jack 10 suited, that's a jam.
all pairs, you just put it in, good enough. Yeah. You just really wanna keep the guy in, right? With a really wide range. 5 deuce off. Queen deuce, not very like, close to
I'm
the
not doing
bubble. Too. But we should be defending our big blind extremely wide.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm doing 5 deuce off.
Mm-hmm.
Queen 3 off.
Well, you should. In
I
a
mean,
P-
maybe I should.
in a PKO when you cover. We
Oh,
don't.
The fold.
So. Okay, what do you do with ace deuce offsuit?
oh,
Fold.
Well,
Alright, I
Ace
gotta take,
deuce,
Yes.
I'll be back in a little bit. I gotta take a work meeting.
Alright, man.
we're in the
Yeah.
money.
jeez, ace deuce.
Folding ace deuce.
Yeah, I guess I'd be folding it, right? Like I wouldn't,
King,
it's just
jack
too
offsuit.
wide.
he's
I would
covering us
call.
now.
I would, ooh, he is covering us. That is a consideration. I would probably call king jack offsuit.
And then what about ace six offs?
Fold.
Call.
8-6, is that what you said?
Ace.
Ace.
Oh, ace six. I was understand. Okay.
I don't know, man. That's probably. It's probably the floor of the calls or something. It's probably not a bad call.
I agree. Ace six, ace seven.
Like, he should be jamming quite wide covering you. So like,
10% of the field, this is in the money, right?
Right
Yeah.
after the money bubble.
Okay, so. What about
But our
king
min,
10 off?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a hard one. I think I fold king ten off.
Eh,
I mean, he's definitely gonna be jamming worse than that. I'm calling king 10 off.
Calling king jack off.
Ace deuce
what's the
off, king
worst
10
suited ace we go with?
I think you
All
go
of
with all your suited aces.
No, offsuit, I mean. Offsuit.
all of them.
All
Offsuit
the
is
offsuit ace.
7, a6.
I feel like all the offsuit is way too wide.
Then ace 5, okay.
But the suited ones, it kinda breaks in difference at ace deuce suited. And, yeah, king ten off is
The
going
fold.
to be good.
Let's take a look at his shoving range here. Yeah, okay, so he's
Yeah.
a little too deep to have a more robust boomerang. Yeah. Like,
But does population jam with 9-7 suited, 10-7 suited, jack-7 suited, queen-6 suited, queen-5 suited?
I
covering in a
think
PKO, I'm gonna be pretty robust with the suited boomerang.
I think some people, to be honest, Roger, like, to your point, maybe not, but something they are gonna be doing is maybe over jamming some of the suited aces or some of like the suited broadways and offs. They may be
Makes
jamming too
sense.
much
Yeah.
queen jack to balance there, you know?
Yeah, so
Um,
that the number of jams are the same, but they just jam different hand classes.
Closer,
Yeah,
probably, and like
yeah.
Peter was saying, like there is gonna be quite a few people who are finding some of like the boomerang jams.
I think there's
Makes
a
sense.
lot of people who are gonna take those some of those raised threes and put them in their jam buckets.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, for
jack
sure.
suited, queen jack off, a bunch of that stuff's going in there.
There's a player archetype who will just lose their mind, absolutely lose their mind because they cover you and it's a bounty.
Yeah, and like it was a 150 bounty too, right? Like it's starting three bounties.
Alright, so this is like not, this is 75% of the field is still in registration. I think you just fold here, even though you cover a one.
It's
We don't
multi and
cover,
folding.
don't cover UTG, so it's just
We
an
cover
easy.
one, we can't fold.
You
How
don't
about that?
think you can fold? This is pretty wide, Louis. What would the chippy V arrangement be here for you?
Well, this is almost chippy V, right? 75% field. And we
Pretty
really,
close.
we cover,
And
so.
I'm
I'm,
just saying, like, if UTG raises in a chippy V scenario, 60 or 50 effective, I'm pretty sure you fold king three off. Like the floor is around king
yes,
five or six or something.
yes. And
So,
then if we don't cover, I mean, I'm not there either, you know?
yeah,
But
if you covered both, I could see merit, I think, but only covering one and the caller, the capped one of the two.
I'm a guy of opportunity. If we cover one, it's good enough. for me.
Alright, well, you opportunist, click some buttons.
Oh
I'm here
my.
with king 8.
Yeah, it's very tight for.
I feel like you're probably wider than king eight, Pete, but,
I think it's more like king 10.
King
not much.
5?
King
King 5 also.
4, so
King 4 even.
close,
Holy crap. Oh, sorry.
so close.
Louis got the
Look
right
at-
idea.
Look at this calls.
Well, it's like chippy V almost, like here, like this is actually wider than chippy V.
Oh yeah.
Not by a ton, but a
Yeah.
little.
Mhm.
Alright,
Oh,
And then we
gosh.
call this also.
You're
not
covered
covering, there's no point.
No, we didn't
and,
cover any. Okay.
and it's
Yeah,
approaching money bubble. Yep. You don't wanna play poker with that hand.
It's hard to see what.
Post money bubble. Five deuce off, but you're covered. I think you fold, like Pete said. 50% of the field covered, fold. Covering, but quite deep, a similar chippy V arrangement, probably calling.
I'm calling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's against one of the later positions too. This is fine. Oh,
Okay, yeah, okay. Then how wide? Pretty wide.
maybe 1 pip. There you go. Mixing with Jack 6.
Pretty wide.
Ooh. Never
You
fold.
call this.
We cover, right?
He's
Question.
way too short.
Do you prank here?
I don't
Okay,
think so. You're just isolating yourself against way better hands too frequently, I think.
do you have a folding range here?
That's a good question, Louis, and I think it's not much of one.
Alright, must be extremely wide, right?
Pretty close to a prank, actually.
Yeah. Queen deuce, queen 6.
It wants to take the absolute worst one in range. Is where it's always looking. So the fact that we're gonna be so much wider, you can start pranking your deuce X. But yeah, not even close here. 5% is well in the money. We're covered. We have a pretty attractive bounty, but we have suited gappers. This feels like a call, but like, we're not stoked about it.
Covered by both players, I might find a fold here.
Oh, wait, it's multi-way. Dude, that sneaky small blind gets me every time. Maybe you do fold, Pete. Maybe you do.
We
I
suited.
think, I think
I
you
like your
fold, man.
call,
I like a fold. I like a fold. Fold.
I'm sorry,
So
I'm a team call.
I'm sorry, I'm a calling station.
you are.
I've been working on my issues, but
It's not even close, actually. 0.13. Yeah.
still stronger than me, I have to call.
Yeah, when you take a look at like what the
Any
small
suited
blind is flatting here, it's probably just gonna be a bunch of suited aces and suited kings.
You can't fold
So-
a suited combo.
You have a lot of reverse implied odds with this hand. Like when you get it in against the small blind, it's gonna be flush over flush a lot.
Fold.
Well, we cover him.
You see the cutoff?
I don't wanna see it. My side, I'm like a horse here. I have like, those things they put on their eyes. And then,
You're blinding yourself.
yeah,
The red
I
flag.
got blinders and then, yeah, it's okay, he's here, but is he
Just
really?
participating.
This is a jack. We can't hold a jack. It's
I'm
one big
folding,
line,
yeah.
we cover.
Dude, I don't think this is close.
10% field, we're already in the money.
I
Jack
don't think
5
it's
probably.
close.
This is Jack 7 off the call.
I'm calling.
Jack 5, Jack 6.
Oh my
I don't
god.
think it's
Barbecue.
close.
But what's the bottom? I think Jack. Maybe Peter's right.
Not
Jack
close.
6.
Maybe it's 7, maybe Jack 7.
Jack 7. Jesus, you cover.
You
Is
don't
it because
cover
he's too
100.
deep? I mean, you know what? Maybe it's stack that matters, right? Cause you cover, but it's 30 bigs. Well, how are you gonna play for 30?
Yeah, you gotta play a 60 big blind pot with a deuce. It's Jack 8.
Well, if there's two deuce on the board, who knows?
Good jacks.
Okay,
Yeah.
Only 6 pips.
When you flop a jack, you're gonna be dominated pretty frequently here. And like one of the things you see when doing range construction work here is you'll see your offsuit jack is typically the hand that's gonna lead your folding range, right? And then sometimes your queen as well, because it has a bit of it has a bit of vulnerability because it wants to protect itself against overcards, but it also is the bottom of their range, so it's where they're most robust. So you're just gonna run into a better jack or have to face bad turns or bad rivers with jacks more often.
Yeah, I can cut.
Do we defend all aces? I think so, right?
Probably not, Louis. You're
Shit.
covered twice. You're covered twice.
We're in pranking territory.
I don't know. I don't think you're pranking a squeeze here because there's a flatter. Maybe if it was like button small blind, maybe even cut off small blind.
I could get behind folding, occasionally raising this hand.
And
just-
never
I'm
calling?
snap folding this.
Never
I'm
call.
not
Yeah.
raising this. I'm not calling this.
It's 75% field, right?
Yeah,
we not- Do
it's
we not need to
multi-way.
call here?
No call.
I don't
I'm
think you're
folding.
calling, man. I don't
Okay,
think
what's the
you're
worst
calling.
ace you defend?
Maybe ace five is mixing some.
I'm jamming it in with ace seven, ace eight.
I'm a fish. I'm a
Sometimes.
fish.
We're all fish.
I'm a fish.
I'm a station, so it's easy for me.
On a station and a fish.
Wow, dude, it's not even close. What is this?
No pranks.
It's
Near jam.
75%. We already lost the chips. We're not gonna fold the names to these guys.
The bird concurs.
We don't cover, we fold.
Yeah, you fold.
What's the, do you call 10-8 suited?
No,
Ten
dude.
queen.
Why would
jack.
you call 10-8 suited?
I'm asking you.
Maybe
Well,
be
about
a
the
little
nine?
more ahead. 10-9 suited.
Are you saying you played 95% of the way through the field to call it off with 10-8 suited for 20, almost 20 bigs?
10-8. You can make a nice hand sometimes.
You can make a nice hand with 7 deuce sometimes too.
Mm,
You want to be ahead of the
Yeah, I don't think
boomerang
we're
that
calling
he's
this one.
jamming. So 10-8 might be the top of his boomerang, so probably 10-9 or jack.
It was just
10-9
one pip
suited.
off.
1.5.
You are 1 pip off indifference. by the way.
Yeah.
George, Roger is judging me. My
Yeah,
half
10-9.
pip.
And it has to do with his jamming range here.
Right, so if you're playing a
Oh,
jamming range that's constructed differently from this.
well, you
it
gotta
could-
look at the flag here.
Yeah, it could seriously
flag.
affect the EV if you don't have that flaggy boomerang thing.
Yeah,
It's probably a good defense against me, Louis, because I'm definitely jamming pretty wide here, but
Yeah, like, look, you're like dominating worse tens there that are jamming. You're dominating worse nines that are jamming. You're ahead of like some of these eights and 7-6 and stuff. If he's jamming the pairs, you're doing good against those. And then like all of the other stuff, all of the aces, you usually have like 45% equity against, 40% equity against, because it's 1 over and you got 2 suited cards in the middle. So like, yeah, I mean, if I saw that range, I could maybe justify calling some 10-9.
maybe.
Feels a little deep to be pranking. Feels a little nitty to be folding. You're covering, so you gotta call.
yeah, this guy has a giant bounty. He has 4 bounties, and we're on the soft bubble. I can't see folding this hand.
Okay,
I agree with Pete.
But I guess the only thing is, do we want to get in a pot where I guess we cover a lot of the players, right? So if we do lose a number of big blinds, we still cover most of the table.
Yeah,
Fold.
There's one
Cause I'm
question
usually
I
always
had,
folding.
Even raising.
there's one question I have to ask you, Arnie. Did you pay half of your entry fee to put a bounty on someone's head and not aggressively seek it?
I don't think I play bounties.
Oh, well then, touche.
Well, I do play them, but I don't know if I play them, you know, optimally, you know? A lot of the times in those situations, I'll look at, I was like, well, okay, if I could lose 10 big blinds here, then it affects my ability to get bounties future game, right?
Yeah,
of,
the
but
other
like-
side of that coin is, if you win that pot, it snowballs your ability to get bounties, so.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just kind of like potato patata, or, optimist versus pessimist.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that guy, when he also had a $200 bounty, so in like a $20 tournament, he has like a $19 bounty, right? So like you can almost min cash by just beating that guy in a pot.
Yeah, it's an entire buy-in essentially. He's got an entire buy-in on his head, which, is considerable.
What do you say about this one?
There is
I would fold.
Yeah, it's a fold.
nothing
Not
really.
sure.
What do we do? Wait.
Not
Wait,
sure
bro.
about that.
Wait, protein.
I think this is actually a call because under the gun isn't gonna have board coverage.
I mean, he doesn't have a lot of board coverage here, you are right about that. But what he does have is the ability to hunt you down.
Yeah, covers you. Don't think this is good business.
Even,
Phil.
Oh,
even
it's
when
close
you,
though.
even when you flop mid pair with a 6, you're gonna have an equity realization problem.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
true.
Huh, one bit.
Like the connected ones are a little more resilient. They're able to flop stronger draws. And you have lots of suited stuff to lean on. So it's a good idea, but we just have enough suited stuff. Like when we're flatting like 7-4 suited, right? We're okay with that.
Hmm.
Get the flop out.
Easy
Fold.
Ooh.
Raise sometimes.
Three bet it then?
Okay, we don't raise. Alright, here, I'll walk through it. I don't think we raise because this is not the worst combo that you're getting in here with. Like, I think maybe you're raising queen deuce like we saw before. I think you are definitely V-pipping.
Mhm.
Nope. It is a prank.
Yeah, this
Sometimes.
guy has a robust bounty. Like we're
Sometimes.
really incentivized to
Yeah,
get
you don't
after
really care. You don't really care is what I see here. It's like you're taking a ton of offsuit stuff here and, kind of pushing it back in his face.
Yeah, we have against the cutoff, we have lots of value hands that want to run it against him for his 125 booty.
So what are you doing? Like, I got a legit question there. Okay, so since we're covering, if you decide to prank the guy,
Mhm.
what are you doing versus jam? Having access to the bounty. I mean, is it just a fold? Like, where are you
Yeah.
drawing the line?
Well, it's really easy. All the stuff like king 9 off and lower, you fold, and all the stuff above it, you call.
If it was a small bounty,
Makes
you
sense.
wouldn't do that, I think.
Yeah, all the stuff below king 9 you fold, and all the stuff above it you call.
If it's a big bounty, easy fold, but if it's a small bounty, you just don't do that much.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah, you
prank.
do it less.
So yeah, I made a mistake. I went with the three bet.
Yeah. Do we have? I don't think we have bluffs here. Do we?
Like it's a PKO and we cover, so we wanna play for the bounty, right?
Yeah.
So we jam a lot.
We don't have a racing range. 0.7, but yeah.
Oh, we
Just ace
jam a lot.
Pocket aces and 9-4 off.
The solver refuses to be in balance, but it also refuses to undervalue its aces. So you gotta find some silly stuff. I don't, I was gonna say, are we ever pranking here, like a smaller size, but it's just put it in. It's like,
We
what are
should,
we
yeah,
doing?
this is
Yeah,
the,
No raising.
Just put it in, I guess. Lose to an ace on the turn. No, we flopped a queen. Never mind. I think we are playing very heavy check here.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
So
Yeah.
it is 50% of the fields. Okay, that is a consideration
I'm
where it's
pranking.
very. See, he's got you covered by a lot though is the problem. Maybe you do prank some. This is a good hand to prank in like Chippy V. I'm just trying to be sensitive to the external factors here.
He covers
So
us, but we need to raise some junk. This is a pretty good junk to raise.
it is pretty good. It really is pretty good, but I think I'm over adjusting. So, okay, it is
Okay.
checking more. Now let's look at the range.
More junky.
Ah, even more junky. But it is undeterred is what I'm seeing here. Like king five's just a little,
Probably just with the king high, it's probably too good to wanna lose him jamming on us, right?
well, you say that, but if you look at king six, king seven, I think it just has, I think it's just counterbalancing what he's actually limping with some. We're too deep. Just call.
Oh,
Don't
Going
get
we
yourself
could
in
raise.
trouble.
raise, but yeah.
Yeah, wanna
It's just-
raise, what do you wanna raise here? 75% field.
Queen
Probably
jack suited would be a better
Um,
raise.
EV raise, right? Offsuit hands here.
You are
Yeah,
gonna have some suited stuff. You are quite
King
deep.
10, king jack.
Yeah, you
So-
wanna target the bottom of offsuit range, so you're gonna target like his offsuit tens, so you're gonna raise like 10-9 really wants to raise 10-8, jack-8. Right?
Yeah, looks good. Okay, maybe you do some pranking here. Alright, so you have a wide arrangement. You're covering one of the guys. I would not be surprised to see maybe some orange here some of the time.
I
It's
like a raise.
nearly Chippy V.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the tournament. You can mix call, like I would call a lot here.
Okay, we don't prank?
That's what I was saying. I think you do prank sometimes with your offsuit ace X, these wheelie ones in this arrangement, but nope, I'm wrong. What is, the
Probably gonna want more
solver?
suited stuff though, right? Have a little bit
Not
more
really,
equity.
no.
No.
So
Just
it is doing a little of the offsuit stuff here.
Look at
Squeeze
the-
ranges are usually like very linear, as you kinda see there. It's like if you're up against two ranges, you
There's
need,
60 bigs,
60
eh?
bigs in the mid with queen ten suit, but we better not have aces.
that's
Yeah,
not too
but
surprising.
look at
60.
look at the three components of the
60
squeeze
is a lot. Yeah.
your offsuit aces, your big pair, your big middle pairs, and then you need equity bluffs, which are those suited gappers, suited two gappers, right on the Broadway side.
It makes sense, right? When you look at the strategy as a whole.
If you throw in another caller there, Louis, you'd be jamming as deep as 80.
Hmm,
Ooh, you gotta call.
We cover.
Gotta call.
Cover up button.
It's a
Cover versus
huge
button.
bounty.
Is there
A lot of
is there a
ICM
hand
here.
that
Yeah, this is too big
5%
to
left.
ignore.
Yeah,
I'm
call.
sorry, you got lost in the muck there. What was that, Peter?
is there a hand that you're folding here?
Yeah. Offsuit deuce X, some offsuit 3X.
7 deuce half, 6 deuce.
$300 bounty.
What do you do with 10-4?
Maybe call, I don't know, that's a good question.
I would
Sure,
fold.
I'm calling.
I fold in game. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. I mean, the solver might call it, but I've been folding 10-4 off in this situation in game.
Okay, what do you do with 4 deuce offsuit?
You probably call, I can make a straight, man. You probably
Yeah,
call.
correct.
You cover by, you cover, so I think that's just what's important.
We got
10-4.
10-4. Let's go, good
10-4.
buddy. And look at the high amount of prankage here.
Yeah, there is quite a bit. That is a good point, Pete. I'm definitely under pranking. You call.
Is that call?
All in or call, I don't know.
4 bigs, right? Let's go.
Yeah, it's hard to make a mistake, I think. Okay, so let's think about this. 10% money bubbles just popped, you cover, but you're super deep. I think I raised this some.
Yeah, 20% prank.
think it's
80%
check.
call.
Well,
60% prank.
that's interesting.
Why? Wrong range.
It's hard to follow the logic sometimes.
That's his response to our prank. There you go. Yeah, robust prank.
Well, also, yeah.
Yeah, like 45% of your range wants to prank here. It's just the chip arrangement. The guy's got a plump booty.
Easy call, you call almost everything here.
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, you really don't fold much here. Fold.
Fold with some pranking, 10%.
We
It's a
cover,
squeeze. It's a squeeze, though. You can't, I don't think you can prank this hand.
can we not defend the big line?
I don't
Jack's-
know, man. Maybe. You're
Look
kinda
at this
deep,
This doesn't
dude.
look like a. This doesn't look like it.
I think this is just a fold. Like, I don't think,
Yeah.
especially with the collar on the button that covers us. But you can prank basically anything you want, right?
You can prank if you want to, Arnie.
In the low stakes I play, man, like button sometimes he's flatting with like 4-3 suited, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the hijack's opening, you know,
We can prank
8-4
if we want
suited.
to.
This is a good spot, I think.
I-
I think this is a good spot to prank.
We can leave our chips behind. Oh my god, more of a call.
Alright, let's look at the range.
We call everything. Oh, king four.
Hey, you threw a dart and just missed.
It's a grenade throw.
Yeah, you're within a grenade throw. That's correct, Louis. I agree.
Just
You're-
just a
I don't
bouncer.
think I don't think you're making a big mistake if you do it sometimes.
Yeah, because we lose a big portion of our range to jamming there, we are less protected, and so we have less pranks.
7 deuce, no, but
But
we cover. And we probably call a really wide range here. So my question to you guys is,
what are you doing with 10-8,
no,
10-9? Suited.
Is it suited? I'm probably calling 10-9 suited.
How deep is it? That I cannot see
Um,
it.
I thought I had like,
10% left.
Ah, okay.
Ace three offsuit.
snap.
You wanna
Probably
snap
what?
ace three?
Ace
We're in the
six.
money, man. I mean, we did it. Now we cover, we try to
We
get
did
the
it.
bounty.
Well, I guess he's gonna be jamming all his king X probably.
I don't
Yeah.
hate, I don't hate calling with ace three offsuit, I don't think.
The
I think it's-
investors are gonna get paid and I mean, life is good. And sometimes you get a straight. But the real question for me is like king nine off. What do you do with king nine?
Fold.
King
I don't know,
ten?
man. Maybe I'm too tight. I don't know. You got me second guessing myself now. King nine off feels close.
King ten's probably in there. Maybe.
Maybe.
Then I like.
Made it so deep. Punt it off with king ten? Really?
Is that what we're doing here, Louis?
Yes.
Dude,
Is
how
that
many
what we're doing?
times like someone jams like that, you got pocket tens and they've got ace seven, they hit their ace on the turn. You're just like, why did I call?
I don't know, I'm just king ten.
King ten. I thought, like, I was cry calling king ten, but when you asked me about king nine, I was just thinking, I don't know what the answer is. Queen jack off. That's another one. Like, I'm not, I feel like queen jack off is just a bait.
Well, sprinting.
Let's take a look at his jam range and see why it's printing.
See how grounded in reality are we? This is actually pretty much, this feels reasonable.
I wouldn't wanna play queen jack against that range though.
Probably not, right? Like, I mean, if he's got enough jack nine and pairs. It's pretty good.
You wanna flip or lose?
To be honest, this looks like a very reasonable range.
Yeah, I wouldn't wanna play queen jack. That's why it's mixing.
Yeah, you need a person to have like a 37 V pip here and have a little more gas in the tank that's jamming and a little less stuff that's min raising.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
he's-
yeah, yeah.
If
I
he
feel like
shows up
that's,
here with queen eight suited or king seven suited, then all of a sudden queen jack is gonna start printing.
and you know,
Yeah.
Peter, that's probably like closer calibrated to what's going on out there. I feel like there's probably less min raising with king four suited and more jamming with it.
But the other end of it too is you have to be careful because there's probably more guys who are jamming ace queen suited here and ace king
Yeah,
suited.
yeah, that's fair. That is
Pocket-
definitely fair.
Yeah, I think given that we want to actually tighten the range a bit there, given what the solver is giving us right now.
You can mute me, Louis. I'm in the kitchen. I'm gonna be making noise. I forgot to click the button.
Goodbye.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Nine deuce. You just,
Fold.
This is just a give up.
how I know.
Like 9-5, 9-6. Want to flop a straight, right?
Hold on.
Oh, soft bubble. Man.
Call and cross our fingers. Queen high.
Good call, maybe.
Hmm. If you call, you might have an equity realization problem. You're still ahead, but like even when he has worse, he's gonna bet the flop.
Yeah, that's true.
If we hit, we're gonna play. If we don't, we're gonna fold.
Yeah, I guess it's just calling.
Right, cuz like we fold there and then we're down. Or in the small blind, we could get like 8 high or something like that, right? And then
Yeah.
we fold, we're on the button with two bigs with no fold equity.
The board is like 10, jack 8. I'm
But
going
if
for
you're
it.
in a point like that where it's just up to the gods at that point, right?
Yeah, and then like against the min raise, you get pocket jacks and you can't even reopen the action. And You get a pot that goes 4 ways.
Just a tough spot overall, right?
Flop
Where you're
comes-
just,
Ace, king, queen.
This looks like a child painted this strategy.
Maybe you did.
they ran out of purple.
Ace
left
five
the range.
here, ace five here, pocket king. It looks like a plane, like, come on.
The guy had to take a day off, so that make his kid will work the other ranges.
Jam for value. Uh,
I think we can three bet here.
hmm.
I don't know, I'm sort of folding mostly. I'm glad to see it's not a call.
Queen five, you can bring. Queen six, king four, queen five.
That was a good idea then.
Good idea, just a little too aggressive. Yeah. Kind of soft money bubble, like we're at the point where we can cash if we don't play a hand, but can't cash if we start splashing around with queen four. Oh my gosh, look at the size of these booties. Call.
I'm calling.
Check call, I don't know.
What do you want to do, Louis?
Seems marginal, maybe fold, call 9-7.
No. Can make a straight.
You could flop straight.
Even
Nice
9-5.
two pair.
6, 7, 8. Good board. The cutoff has a plump booty here, right? $1.75, right? So he's got 3.5 booties. He's almost got the tournament buy-in back if you stack that guy.
Just check it, yeah.
Check.
Take back, right?
Don't want to blow up the pot.
Jam.
Jam it.
Maybe.
Raise a jam.
I mean,
Yeah, I think I'm more raising than jam.
Yeah. If we jam, we don't get the worst. Yeah, maybe it does.
Too many big blinds.
a little too deep. So fold.
Go.
Ooh.
Cool.
Easy call.
Go.
Cool.
Call.
I wanna three bet.
So
Yeah,
do
do we
I.
have a raise?
So
But
do I. I wanna 3-bet this one too.
I don't.
You're gonna three
No.
bet worse and better. Better
Oh.
for value and worse for bluffs. This is kind of too much in the middle.
what's your worst three bet hands there, Peter? Like 8-5, 8-6 offsuit?
With a king, like
Yeah.
yeah, like it's not even pulling from it here. You're too deep. It's starting to pull from the suited side.
You really want two blockers, right, Pete?
Oh, well, I mean, two blockers like is ace, king, king, queen, right? Like, but you just need a little bit more robust equity when you're deep. So you start moving from the offsuit stuff to the suited side.
Yeah, you want to make more nutted hands.
I like what
jamming this-
Andy's saying, he opened into too many players.
You jamming this one, Pete?
I would just call it here.
I'm calling you.
Cut off. Good call here. Fine.
Oh, there's no post flop.
No, so this is ICM adjusted PKO.
Yeah, they need to. Wizard needs to up their game with the post flop.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Lewis, what do you do here with 10-5 offsuit?
10-5. Well, it's weird because we cover, so we want to extend our range, but it's the bubble. Oh no, we're in the money. Yeah, probably cool then.
Calling 10-5, no problem.
Oh,
I mean, I know we cover, so we want to be a bit wider.
Could be 10-6. 10-6
Uh,
flops a straight, 10-5 doesn't.
Lewis.
he
It's
tricked me. He tricked me.
He did, but you got the right idea, Lewis. Like expanding your range here is good.
I know Louis doesn't even fucking defend. I know Louis doesn't even defend Queen 5 off here. He doesn't, man. Notice how Queen Deuce and Queen 5 have like the same EV, both 0.1.
I wanna crank here, but we cover him and he's kinda short, so I wanna keep him in the hand.
Mostly cool, man. With big stacks, we're in the money. Do you want to clash?
Yeah, the guy with 80 big blinds, like, you know, see if he's protecting his range by flatting pocket queens here.
You're deep, so you're gonna
Oh,
pull from this.
Peter.
You're deep, so you're gonna pull from the suited hands.
Yes,
Look at him flat pocket queens.
and aces.
Peter
flatting pocket
special.
queens. Yep.
Sometimes you gotta do the Peter special and call.
Look at that. Look at that. King 3 suited is the bluff when you're this deep. The 4-bet. Just gotta fold.
Oh, huh?
Yeah, don't
Well-
cover.
Gonna be like 6-5. 6-4.
A little bit of 10-5.
Got to cool here.
Alright, right? All the suited ends? Do you ever
mean-
fold suited ends here?
We're gonna jam some suited hands.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna jam some.
Okay, other question for you is. What about? Are you gonna have an aggressive strategy here, or is it gonna be like very passive and very wide?
Well, the guy's got a polarized range, so they're probably gonna be mostly cooling, jamming the pairs and high cards.
Yeah.
Maybe like a king 7 suited, and way more.
You jam a lot here.
I guess. Like, what's the guy's range? The thing is, in game when they mid raise the button off a 12, they don't have all this junk. They're not raising the king 9. I am, but they're not. I think mostly jam, but I think you can mix some cool here.
I usually just wanna call here. Let him just bet,
Yeah.
bet, bet.
It's a
You
PKO
don't-
with cover, so I just.
You don't wanna call. You don't wanna just call. You wanna raise.
You don't wanna raise, you wanna jam. We cover.
Just
Yeah,
jam.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, you don't wanna call. Like jamming or 4 is whatever.
It's time for him to pay off with 7.
This
Your-
isn't,
your-
this isn't the child's range.
No,
Your prank range is pocket aces and 9-4 offsuit type of thing.
it's not gonna be a baby draw.
Ace is
No.
flooded.
See a
no.
real range here.
Not even pranking.
Hey,
aces.
man. No.
Skeletor.
Suited wheels, you know.
Look, ace is flattened. Look at that.
You see this range, you're sure it's not, it has not been painted by a child.
You don't know that.
Ah,
Oh my god.
Oh, he had
I
ace.
said- I told you we should have flooded, man.
okay,
We're
so we
still, we're
cover.
still gonna lose it all.
Not gonna do it with 9 deuce, huh? But,
We are covered.
yeah,
Is he cool?
yeah, on the bubble.
Oh, on the bubble now.
5-4
Oh.
offsuit.
Softball.
On the wall, yeah. Covering.
Let's call. Well. It's folding a lot of stuff.
Cool.
Why do you wanna call here? I guess.
We cover.
X-
He's
X7 is called,
it's the
brother.
bottom. I was thinking it's close.
No.
Queen deuce is
To
definitely
lose.
calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, queen deuce is definitely calling. Cool. 0.02.
You call.
0.02. 0205.
What about 10-7 and 10-6?
Well, yeah,
Call.
Yep.
because this is
Calling
0.05.
10-6?
This is 0.05 EV.
I'm folding
Full
10-6.
10-5. Oh, full 10-6. Yeah, usually if he can flop a straight with it, it's gonna hang around a little more robustly, but
So offsuit three gappers.
It's easier to remember when you can make a straight, you call it. Peter said. It's easier to remember than the combos.
The more I see it, I think like. Whether you're covered or not, if you're too deep, it doesn't really matter. Like if you're 75 big blinds deep. Like, it doesn't really matter as much, right? Well, at least for now, it's my impression.
Mhm. I think
Yeah,
we
maybe,
fold here.
pure fold.
I'm a bit scared of the low jack flat, not gonna lie. Bit scary.
It probably got pocket queens in there.
Easy fold.
Yep.
How do we construct our range here? What would you do with your pairs? Pocket deuce.
Are we in the money? Because I cannot see that.
Yeah,
I'm jamming all pairs.
all pairs, jamming.
Four's up.
Flat,
Only four.
10% of the field, right?
flat pocket sixes. Jam the rest.
Pairs are gonna be pretty robust here.
Ooh,
But I'm loose.
I did it wrong.
people are punting with deuces here.
I mean, yeah, it's probably not jamming the worst ones because they're covering for a bounty, so they're just not gonna fold out the pocket fours.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
no.
don't have. Yeah, we have less fold equity, so probably that's why it's not jamming the weaker ones.
You summarized that way better than I could have.
Thank you.
I think I fold. 4-2 is pretty bad.
We cover. We're in position. This is definitely a call. Are you a net, Lewis?
Fold.
You are. You're a net, Louis.
This might
Put
fold
me in
like
there.
5-2. 4-2.
Lewis, don't tell all my little secret.
6-2, 7-2.
No one has figured it out yet. I'm the maniac. I'm aggressive. Right? Not in it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's a bad hand.
It's four deuce off.
You-
Can we
it
not?
What's
can't-
worse than four deuce off?
But it can't flop top pair. It can't flop any strong hands.
Can make two pair.
That one and a
Yeah.
half big blinds could get you to the final table.
Yeah,
Look at this. Not even 8-7 off is cooler. Interesting. Yeah, you're losing a lot of EV there in those spots though.
what, you think I'm calling for deuce, Lewis?
You guys got a pretty robust booty. This is gonna activate some shenanigans, but I think this is probably just gonna call.
I don't want to do wow with a 9
Shenanigans.
against high with a 9 against hijack. I don't really like it, but
How did you know, Peter?
The guy has a $200 bounty. We are gonna be really robust in our desire to prank this guy.
he's raising into 2 big stacks.
Yep, he's expecting to get 3-bet a lot.
So what does this tell you about his range?
We're gonna
He's probably
oblige him.
raising like 20% of hands. I don't know, something like that. 22%.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's see his range. I guess
Uh-huh.
suited. What is it? Like suited tens. Tens, yeah, because we get the 25%. Because when we do the 9, it's like we only block ace 9. We get to fold out king 10, queen 10, king. You know.
King Jack, Queen Jack. Like we fold the offsuit tens and offsuit jacks here, and he's probably gonna overfold because ICM pressure is greater on him than on us. So he's probably gonna have a bit of a challenge realizing here.
Is it cool? It's on the bubble, but I still think it's a cool. Yeah, 2 connected.
All the suited ends, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, flip this one in for sure.
Okay, what would you do with jack ten suited there, Lewis?
All in.
What about pocket eights? What about all pairs?
All pairs.
All
I
pairs.
Jam like
You're
fives
jamming
plus.
deuces here, Lewis.
Jam like sevens plus, sixes plus.
Do you not like money, Lewis?
I don't know what I'm doing here, to be honest. Let's see. Sevens plus. Jack 10 suited is mixed. Jam.
Yeah, like 18% field, you can't really like, you gotta respect the bubble, right? Can't really like go. We can't jam like king jack suited every time or jack ten suited every time. You have to be respectful.
But not so respectful, you fold the 8-5 suited.
Fold the 8-4 suited.
This is close.
It's not.
Probably,
No reason to
probably
be here.
fold. Probably fold.
Yeah, I think so. Think we fold 9-7.
You think? I don't think so.
Ah,
See, look, we dominate 8-7.
okay. You wanna three bet or you wanna jam?
Yeah, why not both?
Which one?
Free bet.
He's got a big booty. He's
See,
incentivized to call.
I think three betting is a pretty big mistake here.
Yeah, I mean, we got enough where we can 3-bet fold though. If we had like 16, I'd jam, but we got
Okay.
19.
But what if he has like sevens? It's a PKO, he covers you, he's calling it off every time.
What do you do with ace four off?
I think there's an easy jam just because, yeah, what Louis said. He's gonna sit there with a sevens, gonna be like, oh, I can't ignore that bounty, and then, you know.
I think a call is also not worse, not the worst.
I think since
I
he
think that-
covers us, we need to jam here. But I get Lewis' point. Lewis is like, we need to have some bluffs here. So we probably wanna use a smaller size sometimes. But I don't think we use it with kings. Huh?
Yeah, Lewis is
follow
right
you.
again. This is why
Then-
Louis in the
Who's
micro. This is why Louis in the micros.
Then Lewis said ace five off. I like that. Think
I
it
said
makes
ace. I
sense.
said ace
Oh,
four actually. I said ace four.
you're punting, Lewis.
I'm never finding those ace two, ace three, ace four jams.
I mean, ace eight and ace seven's probably better though, because you can make top pair, right? See, look, we induced him to go crazy.
Aces. GG.
Yeah, crazy with ace king.
Is this a jam?
No, we're near the bubble. I might call.
Maybe it's a jam. Gonna get
Yeah,
called by both hands.
I don't
Sevens,
know.
eights, nines gonna call.
It's
You want to put a hand in your jam bucket? This one isn't bad.
it's too many blinds, I think.
Don't
Too
you
many
think
bigs.
tens and jacks
Hmm.
are the same here? They just wanna jam?
No, I don't think it's. I think there's too many blinds to jam. 30 bigs.
Pete, what's the
No,
strategy
man.
here, you say?
So the first thing that you're gonna like, the first thing that you want to pull in is your best offsuit aces. So ace queen, ace king. And then you're gonna have some pairs that match it. And so you're gonna pull with jacks and tens, maybe even jacks and queens here though, against one of the earlier positions. And then you're gonna have a sliver of bluffs. It's gonna look for like king queen suited, king jack suited maybe.
I think it's gonna mix cool and free bet. And then
Jam, you
very low,
nits.
very low.
Yeah, it's a
frequency
jam.
I
That's what
think.
I'm telling them.
The
It
jam
might
here.
call too. Like it might yeah.
Oh,
just jam.
some free bet.
Bunch of nits.
It's PKO, I guess. No
Thank you.
one cares about the min cash.
Yeah, ace king, ace queen, strong pairs, no pranks with a suited hand here. I'm surprised with that.
Ace nine, king nine suited. Yeah,
Yeah,
Easy call.
I suppose we don't mind flipping and having a
call,
big
yeah.
stack on the bubble. Oh. Next hand.
Lewis. Frank?
Frank, yeah.
well, $225 booty against the cutoff. Less
Yeah.
pranks because we start to have a more robust jamming range.
I think
so more
we-
flats with this type of hand.
We
I
want
think it's more like king three
big
off.
eggs. Yeah.
Yeah. I learned my lesson. It's king five and king three, queen five and queen three, not the fours.
The more you want to jam, the less you want to prank. Because range isn't as protected. So
Can you prank here? Pete?
no, you're covered and too short. This is probably just a fold.
Yeah, we're on the bubble. Just fold.
Folding.
He's a cutoff.
Cutoffs sometimes have hands.
So like jacks and tens, right, are really, really resilient here, but queen seven, yeah, as well.
It's ICM, so we need a blocker. Need a king or an ace.
Yeah, like here's the spot where you don't want to have to continue a street, face an over card, face a board, an equity completing card. Like when you flop a jack, right, you're gonna be in trouble here too often too, so. Really starts to fold out these bottom end Broadway cards. Oh, gross. Squeeze spot. We're just gonna have to fold this.
Yeah. This is one of the worst hands, I think.
Okay, what about
mean-
10-5?
No.
UTG hijack.
Like we covered the UTG.
Yeah, but the earlier position the flat, the more we have to fold, especially on the offsuit branch of the game tree.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be here with like 10-8, 10-9,
Yeah, that sounds
bottom of our
sensible.
range.
9-8, probably fold 9-7.
7-6 maybe, calls, some connect.
So 10-6 is folding.
I think we call all suited hands though.
Yeah,
Yeah, we might have a couple that fold right at the bottom, 7 deuce 8-3, but like everything else is gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't play this one personally. Wait for a better spot.
Yeah. Just
yes.
yeah, 7 deuce hangs in there.
Oh
Quite
yeah,
go to.
look at this. I wouldn't go. Yeah, I'm getting this a bit wrong. I wouldn't call these two gapper offsuits like 9-6 off. It's pretty wide.
That's
9-6
0%.
one that does it though, right?
He can fold this 0%.
Ooh. Probably.
I'm just going
It's a
here.
call.
Probably a
Oh.
call.
Yeah,
A little too wide to squeeze.
he under the gun's not folding eights. That's the problem. So probably just call.
So what about pocket eights? You have a jamming
First-
range with your pairs here. And where does it start?
Probably,
I'm starting right up.
probably
Nines
starts. Probably starts at eights.
Like
I think it's
in
pretty.
Maybe
In
deuces
ICM,
jams sometimes.
the cutoff
Yeah.
shouldn't have a really
Eights.
big flatting range here. Right? Take a look at the cutoff's calling range here.
Is it just aces?
There's some
Oh,
traps
yeah.
probably.
Right? Like, pocket sevens are not doing great against that calling range. Because when the under the gun player folds, the cutoff's almost always gonna call.
And we're at the stage of the tournament where they don't really care about the ladders, they just want the bounties.
Definitely gonna be some bounty hunting going on.
Especially if it's a mystery bounty and the big bounty's still in there.
Mystery bounty's still out there like King Goose is getting it.
Yeah, I think this is, gonna cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, it can jam sometimes.
Damn, yeah, I was thinking about that.
It's the fact that the guy has 4 starting bounties on his head, right? Like he has a buy-in on his head. So just doesn't care. Really wants to run equities.
600.
I think we get to jam here. Guys opening what-
Lewis, you're a cheater.
I like it.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Check equity.
You
I lost
cheated
some
wrong,
money.
Lewis.
I lost some-
Call.
I thought the guy's so wide you can just jam any suited ace.
Ace 4 suited the jams.
It's okay. It was doing ace 4 and like the equity was really jamming ace 3s. They're not a big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna call. King Queen's kind of bad to free bet from the big blind because we don't fold out better hands. You prefer like a King 10 offsuit if you're gonna bluff versus under the gun. To fold out the
9.
King Jack, the King Queen.
Call.
This good. Is this not some
Yeah,
raising
it's
hand?
just a
I
Or
think-
folding?
We're deep, we're late in the game, he covers us.
Yeah, that's just no. Yeah, it's
Probably
okay.
the floor, right? Queen 3 probably folds.
Like Jack 6 might fold, right? But like the Queen's just more resilient. It faces less overcards and has less bad turns.
Depends how good the player is. If he's a fish, Maybe we call. You ever put in the free bet here, Louis? 50 big blinds deep. Oh no, it's a squeeze. Never mind. Just
Just go.
oh look, free bet 3% of the time, Louis.
So I think you can three bet here with like suited
An eight.
aces, suited kings.
The lower ones, you mean?
Yeah, the
King
wheel.
four.
And
Do you
then
get any jams?
I
Like
offsuit
jam
hands
ace
like this
king?
part here.
Tons of jams.
Wow, this is kind of crazy. I don't think Pete's jamming the fours here.
For sure. So the way that it structures is you're against the button, it's the widest range, and the small blind who's really incentivized to push us out of the pot with his strong offsuit broadways, flats, which leads him to a highly capped range of suited aces, suited kings, suited connectors. And so our offsuit ace complement is going to be really robust against those two ranges. And when you pull in those offsuit aces, then you pull in strong pairs. Because we're against the button, we get to pull in from the bottom up. So we're pulling in the sixes, the sevens, the eights. And then you have some suited bluffs, right? So your Jack 10, because you're up against the button, you get to use the bottom end of that range. So instead of pulling from like King Queen, which you do against earlier positions, you pull from like Jack 10 against later positions. And you
Why we
deal,
not? Yeah, why we not jamming pocket nines, pocket tens, ace king?
they're too good.
Pocket nines too good.
Yep. Look
Don't you think
how
that's
look how robust your value range is, right? Ace 10 suited, king, queen suited, right, are in your value range against the button and the small blind here. So when you have that robust of value range, you got to protect it with hands that are super strong, like jacks and tens and nines.
but
Our jamming range isn't too strong.
It's protected by ace queen and ace jack, right? And pocket eights and pocket sevens are both pretty strong too.
does small blind ever have traps here? Like, let's say 5% of the time.
Like cool aces. Bottom
For
versus small
example,
blind.
sometimes, like,
He shouldn't because he's too deep against the button and he really wants to three bet the button. Right?
yeah,
Like small blind against button open, like he should be three betting 18% of the time there.
yeah, he doesn't want to play multi-way even with aces three-way, probably. He's not very happy with that. Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
The hands that he wants to play multi-way is like ace nine of hearts, or ace seven of hearts, which can cooler us in the big blind with all our suited combos that are worse than ace seven of hearts.
Yeah, king, queen suited, etc. Yeah.
Never mind that. He wants us in there with five deuce of hearts.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Every suited combo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. I just want to say congratulations to Louis. He made a big final table.
I have a couple.
Yeah, actually,
That's
Here.
awesome.
Here, Lewis. Here.
here indeed.
Congrats.
Louis been grinding. The thing with Louis, he's got that dog.
It's been a long
Okay,
time coming. I'm really happy to have you get the win.
Yeah, he played a big pawn against the chip leader.
alright. So try not to be result oriented here. So this one, I'm on the small blind with a big stack. And then this guy here raises. And then this other guy three bets. Folds to me and I have pocket nines. What do you
Yeah.
guys do?
I think you fold. Is this final
Um,
table?
Folding. Probably.
That's kind of late in the game.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, this guy's also all in, I think. Is he?
He
Oh.
made it 8 big blinds.
Yeah, he made it 8, but he has 10 bigs.
Uh,
He has $75 on his end.
oh, $75.
It's an $8 tournament.
How many?
I still think it's a good fold.
It goes 2 and then 8 and then it's on us.
I think you gamble. Actually.
Cover for a $75 booty, like, I mean, unless you're final table bubble, this is gonna be pretty robust.
This is like
No.
last 20.
Yeah, like pocket pocket sixes here.
Did you run the Sims?
No,
Oh, why not?
If you cover Louis, I don't think I can fold.
Like
Pocket
even if
nines,
you
maybe
if you
final table
lose,
bubble, final two tables or something, maybe.
What's your tag on
this is like
Santa's Kings?
20
Range
left.
construction.
Yes, this guy's crazy.
Okay, then I guess.
The
Yeah,
guy is crazy, then I'm gonna.
But still 20 left and we got all the cookies.
yeah, but you want to make the final table with the big stack. So
Get
if you
some more
win,
cookies.
if you win, you're gonna come into
Cookies
the
are-
FT with. If you win, you're gonna come into the FT with like 180 big blinds.
All the cookies.
Never mind
And
it.
you-
It's an $8 game, and there's 10 buy-ins lying in front of you.
Yeah,
To be honest, against two Brazil with 33 VPIP, I think you've got to take this all day, man.
Well, honestly, the thing is, even if he shows you like ace, king, or like a really strong hand here, he's got 6 buy-ins on his head also. Like, you're playing for a mountain of money relative to like what the buy-in is, kinda to Pete's point. Like, you're happy taking nines here, I think.
Louis,
Yeah.
man, why are you running it now?
But
Should've
then
been
If
what
you
fine.
lose,
this,
then you
but
still have to
the
spend it.
question is, it's like, what are these buy-ins compared to the min cash on the final table? Right? It's probably gonna be almost triple.
No, it's not. So like, I can tell you actually, cuz I have this tournament's running right now and it's been running long enough to where the field should be starting to taper off. The final table cash, Arnie, right now for this exact tournament it goes from $86 from 10th place to $120 in 9th place.
Yeah, wow.
8th place is 162, 7th place is 220. So, it's significant. It's significant.
Yeah, and Louis said he was deep, but like not final two tables. So even if you're final three tables, you still got to knock out 15 more people before you get to the final table.
Correct, correct. So knocking out both of these guys, there's a scenario where you get it in three-way, knock both of them out. It is over 10% of first place money in the tournament with 20 people left. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and
a
then even
lot.
if you lose, you're still covering most of the table anyways too, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of short stacks.
But, you know, the other side of the coin, like we talked about earlier, is, the times that you win this, you have significantly increased your odds of winning the tournament with two and a third tables left. Like,
Yeah.
it's significant.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your EV comes from getting to the final table with a big stack.
Even more so, Lewis, when you're playing a PKO, like it's even more important when, bounties are still a component of it, you know?
Yeah, I think
And I
as a
mean-
study group, we shouldn't try to get to the FT in 8th place. We should try to be a top 1, top 2 stack.
Well,
It-
you know, yeah.
Cause
That's
even
what
if you
you
lose
want.
this pot against Tech 4 and you beat the big stack, you still,
You have
You
above
still-
average stack at the table. You cover everyone still except for like the two guys that are involved in this pot.
Yeah.
Like, and, okay, so I don't think nines is a question, but where do we start drawing questions from? Like, what are you doing with sixes?
Oh, I mean, 6s and 9s is a bit different.
Right,
Like,
right. No, it is a bit different. That's why I'm asking the question. So like, where do you draw that line?
I think 7s is gonna mix.
Sevens, okay, that seems reasonable. I don't think that's like a bad line to draw.
Especially against these guys. Like, these guys aren't. It's not the 20 and the 22 battling. It's the
What are
2
you doing
30.
with king jack suited?
I'm calling that.
King Jack suited. I mean, that might be the island where you call. Oh no, it's a jam actually.
King
Never mind.
jack suited's
No, no,
pretty
Sure.
strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be a strong linear range.
Right, like if they've got ace queen and pocket tens, like king jack suited,
I have king,
pretty-
queen suit, he's jack
Pretty
suited.
attractive, pretty attractive.
Okay, what about ace jack off?
Oh, that's a hard one, Lewis, right? I think I still take it. I don't know, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not great.
I mean, if Brazil's rejamming ace 10 off, I think ace jack off doing pretty good.
Hello.
Hey, Danny, welcome.
Is this the
What
hand
is-
you sent me, Louis?
Yeah, I think it is. What is your call range here, Danny?
The
20
win
people
range.
left
My
and
jam
you're chip
range.
leader.
I told
Yeah,
Louis
yeah.
to jam nines here, which
Yeah,
he
yeah, I
pussied
don't
out,
think
huh?
there's.
What the fuck?
He
Yeah,
did.
I
I don't
think
think
it
there's
What
is.
much
the
of a
fuck?
question with, there's not much of a question with nines. But let's say you have pocket sixes or king jack suited or ace jack
No,
off.
fold sixes, fold king
think?
jack suited,
Look, I was there.
fold
I
ace
don't
jack
blame.
off. Fold all that shit, for sure.
Are you
What?
I see you have very strong convictions. I am not so black and white there. I mean, this is like over 10% of first place money in bounties sitting on the table.
Is
You
it
have
that big?
15, you have 15 bounty, you have 15
Wait,
buy-ins here.
it's an $8, huh? He told me
It
it was a
is.
$10. He lied to me.
It's an eight bucker. So it's like, what is that, 20 buy-ins?
Um,
Not
is
quite.
Brazil as
15.
wide as the fiery 32 indicates, the under the gun opener? So what I said in my DMs to him yesterday was this guy's the second daddy at the table, alright? He can open
Yep.
wide. Clearly by his stats, it looks like he's been opening wide. He has a big booty. We're in the small blind, so as the second daddy, he's encouraged to not care as much about us, when we're out of position to him.
Mm,
And then, you know, the guy rejamming on him understands all that probably, has high VPIP here as well as it seems, and a huge bounty.
reasonable assumption so far.
Maybe he just lost a big pot, perhaps, given his bounty size and his VPIP, he doesn't seem like he's been short that long. I don't know, could be some tilt at play, potentially even. Don't wanna read too much into it, but. So like, yeah, sixes, alright, I'll give you sixes, that could be tough.
Close, it's
I'm
close,
gonna
right? I
fold,
feel like it's
I'm gonna
close.
fold though.
I wouldn't berate you if you folded sixes. I wouldn't berate
I
you.
honestly think the bottom should be like eights.
Oh, I
Lewis,
said
Lewis said
sevens.
sevens. Lewis said
Well, I said it's
sevens,
like I
so.
said it's a mix. I said sevens is a mix
Right.
between jamming.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, that's kind of where the line's drawn, though. It's like, we're all like similarly calibrated.
And then, do you play call fold with anything?
I
That's
don't
the
think
other
so.
question.
I
The
think
guy-
that's absolutely torching. I think that's absolutely torching. If you put a chip
Because
in
of the
the spot,
bounties, right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that makes sense.
I think
Alright, ace
all the
jack
pairs are
off,
gonna
I
be
mean,
more resilient than we think.
I think so too, Pete. I
Could
think
be
so
right.
too. That's why I'm like, not, I'm like, I
Could be
think
right.
the line's drawn somewhere around like fives or sixes if I was gonna be a solver. But.
Would you rather have sixes or ace jack off?
I don't know, dude. That's hard. That's very hard. That's very hard. Um. I don't have an answer. I
So
just- I don't-
we're taking ace queen off, right? What are we doing with ace jack
I'm
suited?
taking, I think the line is like ace ten suited. Ace ten suited is kind of like the pain in my mind.
I don't know how much
I-
respect to give the under the gun player.
I think suited aces might be a bit more resilient than you think. Maybe like an ace eight suited.
Maybe Lewis, maybe I'm underestimating. I think the under the gun guy should be, relatively wide here. Just because the guy in the big blind's got almost 30 bucks on his head and he's
But
a shorter stack.
just look at the rest of the table. Like this guy on the bottom's got 3.7 bigs.
Yeah, but
This
again,
guy-
we're very deep and there's 5, 6 rejam stacks sitting there, so.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brazil over here is raising the queen seven suited.
Hmm,
Three.
maybe.
What you don't think?
Not
You don't
sure,
think
bro.
you don't think the
Look how many
GTO
gators. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Queen nine
5
suited,
gators,
probably.
man. There's 5 gators plus us that he has, like, there's no way.
Yeah, you're gonna get snapped up if you're not careful here. I am curious, though. Fives and sixes seems pretty close to where the bottom of the shenanigans are gonna lie, just looking at this initial range.
We should, like,
under the
leave it
gun
on the
range,
under the gun
really.
open range, and based off what we see, we should guess. Like, I wanna see that before we look at ours.
Okay.
I
Cuz if
guess
the queen
now,
seven suited is there, it's gonna, that'll change things.
Queen seven is not gonna be in there.
It's not gonna get in there. Like, it's gonna
Okay,
draw that
okay,
line
okay.
at the
I-
nines for sure.
ICM's getting
Queen
a
nine
bit of a
suited.
factor now, I
See,
guess.
this looks reasonable to me.
Yeah, it does look reasonable, right? Like, this doesn't look like too crazy. Like, this is probably close to what I would be doing in real life. I might even be a pip tighter than this. Like, I don't know if I'm opening king ten off.
But do you think Brazil's
I think my initial inclination was good of
What
just
if he
fold all
pres-
that shit.
what do you think Brazil's doing with deuces under the gun? You think he played?
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like some
I
people.
don't know.
He's probably a
I-
studied guy.
Our
He-
baseline is so skewed because we've been studying with Louis that it's like, it's impossible to say.
So Louis, what did you think in game? Why did you fold the nines against the two loose splashy Brazilian opponents?
He's thinking he's late in the tournament and he wants to make this final table.
And he blocks the bottom kind of, right? Like nines are I think he would have taken tens here.
So
Correct me if I'm wrong,
you didn't
Louis.
think of the future game of getting to the final table with a big stack compared to getting to final table with a medium or small stack?
He already has a big stack.
Yeah, but it's like his stack now is not going to be a big stack for the FT. You know?
Yes, it is though. They're like final two table bubble and he has like double average, triple average probably. What do you have? Double average?
This is a PKO tournament. 50% of the prize pools and knocking people out. And the bounties get bigger as the deeper you get. And we're very deep.
These guys do have big bounties. I'm very curious what the bottom is.
So Louis, tell me a bit about this sim you run. Because I saw you didn't put the actual structure in, right?
Yeah, I put the actual structure of the 855.
Okay,
I
nice.
put the Frank's post flop sizings with all kinds of fancy action posts. That's why it's so long for such a simple sim. But you should have like a really accurate answer kind of quickly as well. This is just the first trimming. It's gonna take a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And then I create a feed on our Discord. Then I'm gonna like basically post the results here.
Good. This is great, Louis. I'm glad that you're doing this.
Just one of those situations, you come down to a tournament and you're just like. When you've been burned so many times, right?
Oh, wait.
My issue was that EPO under the gun open and this guy kind of attacked his.
You called this the 99 big bounty. What, is that name correct? If you go back to the Discord thread?
No, it's pocket nines. With 21.
99,
and a
oh,
KO with big bounty.
I understand what you're saying now. You made it sound like that's the game name, Big Bounty.
No.
Or maybe maybe my brain's not working right.
I mean, Louis, you would have lost though, so nice fold.
Oh, don't be so
I was
results-oriented,
gonna,
Louis.
if say, okay. This guy, I think he's crazy enough to do it. Say that this guy goes in, if I reshove here. I'm pretty sure this guy shoves. And I just stack him and I lose to him like a small pot, but I get rid of him. This is the guy that kills me at the end on the FT.
Why are you sure he calls? Like
He would have
it was-
folded, bro. He would have
No,
folded.
no, he's crazy, man.
fold.
He was never
Th-
folding king, queen to
Th-
two bounties like
This
that.
is near the
Alright,
bottom
let's
of
take a
his
look.
range,
Let's
though.
take a look at the
What
thing.
bounty?
What convergence interval are we at? What's the CI?
33.
That's probably good enough, man, to trim it down to the specific node, to be honest.
So we cancel?
Yeah, just hit cancel and then select the subtree you wanna look at and then run it down to like,
Raise.
I don't know, 10 or something.
3-bet from EP. He's already too loose. So
That's
now,
not insane, honestly, that's not insane.
then we are the small blind.
Oh, nines plus. It looks like very tight. I don't
Well,
know.
you have to converge it down a little bit, it may actually
Yeah,
change.
run it down.
Well, I don't see a flat calling for the small blind. So it has to be a 4-bet, am I wrong?
Yeah. Seems
I mean,
reasonable.
Bro,
generally,
once we
that's-
saw that guy's open range, I kinda thought I was like, shit, Louis might be right here.
This
There's
is,
a chance.
this is just how Frank's sim is set up. It doesn't look like he gave it the option for, cold calling.
No, I
So-
don't think it will though. It's like, yeah, I don't think it
So
will.
Yeah,
you
it's
have
fine.
to
It
four,
doesn't matter.
you have to, it's fine. Like, you shouldn't be doing a ton of calling here anyway. So just hit the 4-bet button and run that subtree right there.
Do I reset regret? Do I make it?
Strategies. No, 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 you didn't lock it. So regret, I'm
then-
sorry. Resets,
Wait,
and then you have to
scope,
do.
subtree,
Scope, yeah,
subtree.
there you
And
go.
you don't have to reset regret because you didn't lock it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
That's
But you
correct.
can reset strategies if
That's
you
why
wanna
I
like
keep
trim
telling
out
everybody,
noise.
but everyone
Yeah.
argues with me.
I've worked with the node lock-in. I know how it works. Pretty nice feature. You guys should do the non-beta one where you get to do the post lock.
Oh, it's ran already.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small tree. It's a 3-4 bet. There's just not much to it.
So nines are the bottom.
Well, if you undo it real quick,
What do you mean?
Seems a bit tight. I don't
when I
know.
say
like-
undo it, change it to like the range view. Yeah, that. So nines is the bottom. I wonder how it would change if you gave it the option to like, to call.
We can't even take ace queen off. Very
This
close, though.
isn't it. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Maybe you're not crazy, Louis. Hey, will you go back to the pre-flop
Can I
bounties
just say
list?
that I nailed it? I'm like, you gotta take nines, fuck sixes, fuck ace jack, all that's garbage.
Well, before you toot your own horn, let's make sure settings are correct. Go
I'm
to
ready.
home. Go to home real quick, just like you're gonna run a new one. Not that one, yeah. Hit this, Monte Carlo. So, yeah. Alright,
Oh, this
so
is
you put the
33%.
bounties, incorrectly, Louis. They need to be double. When it says PKO, you put the display bounty that's on top of the head. It's not the actual bounty.
God damn it.
You're supposed to double all of these. So in this scenario, the bounties are actually half of, what they
yeah.
are in reality.
Yeah, you have to double them. I always do
So
that.
you see where you put 61, you need to make that 122. 49 needs to be 98. No, PKO's right, yeah, change those, double those. So 98 and 150.
Yeah, a quick way to see if you do it wrong is the little games subtree in the corner of the sim. And
It'll
that's
show
when
you a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you have that tab off, I think. In your HRC.
And before you continue past this, go to the post flop tree settings. I wanna see. Everything here looks fine. That's gonna be okay too. So go one more. Hit the post flop tab. Your pre-flop settings are gonna be fine. So you got 2 geo sizes. This looks good, that looks good. Go back to pre-flop real quick. Scroll down.
That's good.
So you
Good
got
to-
2 openings, no limping.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, cold calling is probably like not a bad idea to have enabled, cuz it's gonna be more reality based, but it's gonna blow your tree up a little bit.
Okay.
That's probably what I would click go with.
Three.
Yeah, I don't know if,
You're gonna,
I
you're
don't
gonna
think
blow
you
your
need
tree
cold
up.
calls.
It's gonna
I
be
think
huge.
one you got when you have opens for 2 selected that allows for flats, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, that allows 2 flats.
Yeah, that's
This
so
is gonna be a highly accurate sim, Louis.
Like
It's
it could
just,
go raise, call, call, call.
yeah. I
You're
don't
gonna have
really, I
to, you're
don't
gonna have to raise this one for a while. You're gonna have to run this one for a while. It's the only problem.
Alright, so now we have a fun thought experiment. We know all the bounties were half of what they should have been. How much
Right.
wider will everybody get?
Right, you're right, Danny, exactly. How is that going to change?
Well, what? Nines was making $9 before, so I guess it's
$8,
gonna.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna. I think it was 9, but I guess it's gonna make double that now. No? So then
I don't
everything
think
else.
it works that way, Louis. I don't think it works that way.
Shouldn't, yeah, it
Okay.
shouldn't be that
Because
quite
it's gonna,
simple, should it?
the bounties are gonna propagate through the ranges. So because the bounties are bigger, it's gonna make the guys open wider. It's gonna make people jam
Mm,
more aggressively. It's
yeah,
just gonna like,
yeah. Yeah, I usually run the
They
sims
might be worth
correctly so that,
more than 2x now, right?
yeah.
maybe more, maybe more.
Yeah, I usually run the sims correctly, so I don't usually have to think about what it
Man,
would
Lewis,
do.
you're shooting some shots today. I've been listening.
You know, I'm taking the Louis guide that bully people till they don't make mistakes.
It does, I think it is very helpful to have that table preview pane in the bottom left of HRC. I
I,
don't know how you
I,
X'd it out, Louis, but I would bring it back if you
I,
can.
I, I
Yeah,
agree.
what?
It seems like a good.
Let me look, I'll open mine up and see how to bring it back.
Yeah,
There's like a little window that you can have
you
enabled
could.
in your
It looks
display
like
here.
I see a little table picture below
Yeah,
the
what if
tab.
you click that? Over next to the home button?
No, the picture of the table.
Well, it could be in here as well.
Yeah, but
Display.
no, this it's just there's just like a table, isn't
So
there?
in the
On the
bottom left, you see where it says board and there's a question mark, like that table strategy should have a table display in that bottom left pane, kind of
I
under.
see where it is, what Lewis is saying. I
yeah,
think I know how to bring it back.
there's a little green button which looks like a table. No, that's post flop.
Yeah. Over at the very left, Louis, where you have the actions
Oh,
above,
you see it?
like,
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. So right next to action, click the table.
to the left of, yeah,
Yeah,
did
that
that do
thing.
it? No, that popped it out, huh?
It's
Or
because he
not?
doesn't have it in full
Oh,
screen, man.
that did
Like,
pop it out. What's
yeah,
going on
yeah. This is how
there?
you check the bounties.
So you see the bounties are correct now,
Yeah.
displayed on everyone's head.
Yeah, and this also, it's nice little visual while you're stepping through the tree. It shows the actions on there. There's a way
Yep.
to have it part of the window. Maybe they're right, it's because you're not in full screen. But where it's not its own like pop out, it's just integrated in the
There you
display.
go.
Yeah, I think it's nice.
Yeah, it helps.
Okay, so
Alright,
should we
so,
get to the subtree maybe?
yeah, you probably can. You probably can go to the subtree now.
Go into the first one, and then
So this should be his opening range.
Yeah, a bit wider. Like ace eight
Um,
and king nine, queen nine were
do a
mixing
little
before.
reset strategy maybe. Clean up the,
So maybe we can
Slip
make
noise.
this guy a little wider, cause he is actually a little wider.
This guy has some flats now. Interesting.
I mean, if you want, you
That's
can
fair.
definitely, you can
He
lock
showed up
it.
with ace 10.
You think it's gonna mess up everything?
No, it won't mess up everything. You just need to, reset the strategies or
Are we doing king 10
whatever
suited
it
as
is.
well?
Yeah, give him aces too. What's he, well, you might flat aces, I don't know.
Nah,
King
ace
jack
eight's-
suited full, probably.
Sure.
Oh, I think I'm going a bit crazy now.
That,
You think
That's
a
probably
guy's
fine.
Why not?
Don't go too wide with it,
I
but yeah,
like
that's
it.
probably, this is
I don't
fine,
think
I
anyone.
think.
I don't think anyone's jamming sixes or ace eight.
oh my god. It's now with running
Uh,
with eights.
So you want the subtree and you gotta regret strategy and regret now, cuz you did block something.
Do you have to run a higher up subtree? For the locking to like fully,
I don't know the answer to that, to be quite honest. I think if you have a subtree activated, it's just gonna take everything in that branch.
The
But
lock-ins.
I don't know.
The lock-ins usually pretty quick.
Alright,
Just-
so when you increase the bounties, now the floor has reached sevens.
and widened his range from equilibrium.
And made his range more realistic to what was in the actual
Yeah,
situation.
I said sevens and ace jack.
Ace jack off is hard.
out.
Torch.
But suited's in.
Ace 10 suited. So I mean, honestly, we're not too far off. Like the calibration's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
But nines is 0.71, which is pretty substantial. That's quite a bit.
Right,
So
I think in
now,
game, the really tough one is like ace queen off and eights.
yeah, it is tough.
Like I'm gonna
Because
fold sevens here for sure.
I think so too. I think sevens is probably pretty close. So Louis, so if you follow through the tree, if you jam, what is the initial Brazilian supposed to continue with? Like, what is he supposed to do with there? King, queen off is a torch.
yeah.
Well, ace king off, really.
Ace
bad.
king off, no shot. It's his whole
Short.
stat. I mean, it's like, you have to balance the bounty hunting element with the fact that we're
This
20
is a
players
node.
left and,
This is a node people are definitely messing up.
I
This
mean-
thing,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, once, yeah, I guess
That's
once,
surprising. It really
I
is.
mean, once middle position and big blind shove on EP, that's a pretty strong, range. So I guess against
I
two
think it's
strong
really
ranges, ace
easy.
king's not doing good.
What happens in EP's shoes is people level themselves into thinking we're the small blind with all the chips, we're hunting the bounty, we're like disrespecting his range, whatever, and they like level themselves into a light off, call off. And then
Yep.
we show up with ace king and they're like, oh.
I think that's right, Danny. I think that
It's cause
happens.
I've started folding those spots a lot more where like they, in theory, they should just have a strong range, even though some people botch it and they're too wide. And usually they do just show up with like ace king. I'm like, alright, cool. Glad I folded my ace jack suited here. Didn't torch my life with 20 left.
I've done it before, it doesn't feel good. I remember Louis once told me with 11 left to
Yeah,
gamble
so-
with gamble with ace deuce offsuit.
I should
I
have
think it's
gone with it.
important here, Louis, that the under the gun guy can be like fairly wide. And even though it sucks when you are like at risk and he calls off against you, he still has a bunch of raise folds. You think he would have called off king queen though? I mean, I don't know.
I feel like this node is one of those nodes, like, when a pot goes super multi-way and then the person like completes with any two in the big blind, cuz they tell themselves, well, I got pot odds. I feel like people kind of fall into that same fallacy in these scenarios where it's like, the more chips and bounties that get piled in the middle, the more they justify wider call-offs and they kind of ignore like what the actual range composition is and how your hand is stacking up against those.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. I don't know.
Guilty as
Dan.
charged, right? Like I've definitely done that where just like, oh, it's just too much money in the pot. I can't.
Right, right. I think people will like, a hand like king, queen off, I feel like a lot of people will just say, wow, there's so many big blinds and a bounty in play, and they'll just justify clicking the call button sometimes.
Alright,
So what happened? You raise, good. He jams 20 on you. Hmm,
look at the size of the bounty.
big bounty. What stage of the game?
Hmm. Good question. I don't know. 200 out of 6,500.
Man, I don't know, dude. This is, so like, a solver's probably calling this, like, but I don't think that jam is equally balanced for all players. So like, there's situations where you're torching here, and then there's situations where this is probably like slightly profitable. Like, if it was cut off button, I feel like I would be a little less indifferent about it. Like, I feel like cut off versus button, it would be a pretty standard call. This is starting to feel like pretty close to the fringes. I don't know. I would be curious to hear what Jeremy's thoughts are on this hand. Because I am,
You gotta call 19, right?
yeah. And in the top left, you name this hand 200 of 6,500. So I'm assuming this is like 5% of the field.
200
4%.
left, yeah,
Um,
literally 200 left, deep in the money.
Yeah. So,
This guy shouldn't be jamming on you. Should he?
and
I don't think so. I think this
he
jam's like
probably,
not a thing.
well, it probably should be more like not all in oriented if I was gonna if I was gonna say something, but,
I mean,
I
what
don't
would
know.
you do if he made it 6?
I feel like
fold,
six
right?
is, six
Call?
is scarier than the jam, I think.
Like,
Call
I'm
or
just gonna
fold?
fold to both personally.
Yeah.
My line here is ace queen, I think. Ace queen O, maybe ace
You
jack suited
fold
though.
here, or look at the size of the bounty, man. Don't think you can fold for that.
Well, so this is a 25. I can tell because that one guy's got a 6. So this is like a GG master. And he's got a little under 2 buy-ins on his head. So while it's big relative to the table, I don't know if it's big relative to the game. Like 2 buy-ins is
I don't know if
good.
it's a 25. I don't think so.
Alright, so what's a scenario that you could have a $6 bounty?
I don't think I was in a 25 yesterday. Is
I
what
guess
I'm
it could be
telling
the
you.
1290. I guess it could be the 1290.
Yeah.
Which would make that a little more substantial, right?
Yeah.
The thing is with, sometimes when they jam for like 23 against this position, you're gonna run into ace king a lot, man. You know,
Or ace
Yeah.
queen even.
I feel like
Queen O, ace king O.
Lewis, I feel that's true. I feel that's
because
true. I
like
feel like
sometimes they trick you. They're like, I got a big bounty, I'm just gonna rip my ace king when you probably should free bet it, actually.
You're
These
behind versus
positions.
any ace.
That's what I was saying. I don't think he should all in here.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
he
when-
jams king queen suited.
Because like I've been in this spot so many times when they just jam for like what, like 22 binds.
Maybe there's some
God,
hands.
it's probably just like Jack's ace king, maybe pocket tens.
so. Let me ask this: the bigger the, all right. So let's say as the bounty gets bigger, do you think a hand like Ace King wants to jam more or less?
More.
Interesting.
I agree, Danny. I think the bigger your bounty gets, the more incentivized you are to jam, just because the more incentivized they are to call.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I'm like, I don't think the jam's like a horrible thing. But
I've seen these spots when it's like when they like rejab for 20 bigs and it's kind of like
it's just Ace
EP-ish.
King a lot, man. It's Ace
Yeah,
King a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
It just is, man.
what would you do with ace king
Because
there, Lewis?
I always level myself. You level yourself, be like, oh wow, the bounty's so big, but now you've put of your 30 big blind stack, you've put in 26 of them with ace jack off.
Yeah, you
know?
could go with ace king there. Hopefully somebody else jams it in. But
You could do. I agree, Roger. You could.
I would trap other hands, but not ace king off.
for big blinds, 22,
Very
whatever.
appealing spot to trap, but
Three
also,
rejams.
yeah, no, but there's no guarantee of anything, and then you're just sitting there in a
course.
single raise pot with ace king. It's not the best.
Ace
In
King,
position.
honestly, Ace King
Yeah.
is like, it's kind of a trap hand. Like
But
it's
it's
not
SPR.
it's not as strong going post flop as you think. That's kind of like why it protects the jamming range so much.
Right. If you're deeper, I'm here for it, right? If you're like, where it's gonna be a 3-bet pot where you can't be all in pre, then you can have some flats and be sneaky and the
Yeah,
SPR
manage
is
the
such
pot.
that you don't feel like you like wasted it if you flatted in brick. But here at 20 bigs, you play flat, you miss, you like end up not winning the hand. You just feel so fucking dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
That's
in a
true.
really awkward position a
You-
lot
the-
of the time.
You're always behind. Like unless you find the guys shoving king queen suited, but a lot of people just flat that, man.
Yeah, dude, like honestly, like
Lewis coming in out of nowhere with a different thought.
I've been playing like a lot of cash lately and like I've been looking at some ranges and like Ace King, Ace King behaves differently than it does in like a lot of tournament spots. Like Ace King offsuit is willing to go to the death in some tournament spots. But like a lot of these cash spots, man, it wants to kind of manage the Ace King sometimes when you're super deep. Like you don't want to
Yeah.
just get in a mountain of big blinds with Ace King off.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
especially in position.
Right, and I think some of, yeah, exactly. And I think some of that is echoed into what we're talking about here with Ace King, where it's like, when you're playing shorter stacks, like that hand benefits so much from folds, more so than we think. Like you see Ace
Yeah.
King, you're like, I've got the nuts. But in actuality, like a lot of the EV of that hand
Just wanna
comes
win.
from, yeah, it just comes from
Pre.
hitting folds.
Good blockers. Live
Right.
when
Yeah.
called.
Yeah, like
Or
Exactly.
ahead.
in cash, I noticed when you're out of position and you're facing a free bet, like Ace King sometimes just wants to rip it for 100 because it's such a disaster when you 4-bet Ace King
That happens
and you
in
get
tournaments too.
and you get 5-bet when
Plus-
in
Thank
cash when you 4-bet Ace King, not a win and get 5-bet, it's a fucking disaster.
Well, you are torched at that point, like,
That's
I
the
mean,
thing, at least like at 80 in MTTs for sure, where it just like raise 3-bet all in for 80 with ace, king and kings.
yeah, sub 100, you're gonna typically find ace, king. Also just, willing to raise it in. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like I was telling
It's
Louis
so awkward to
earlier,
play 4-bet pot and like, yeah.
it is. Like, there's squeeze spots where there's two callers where you're just ripping ace, king offsuit in for 80 big blinds.
Dude, I love those spots. I love those so much.
Like for real, like just pre-flop, you can find pre-flop charts where it's like a raise and two callers and ace, king off is just like, I'm all in, 80
That's
big
cool.
Yeah.
blinds.
And then like for 60, you can take queen jack suited and stuff.
Yeah.
And do
Jacks
some
are good
absurd
then.
stuff. If
Yeah,
it's like
just,
low jack cutoff
Yeah,
button type.
it's because you could show them your cards, and there's nothing they can do.
yeah, you're gonna elicit some WTF emojis.
I mean, if you showed them king jack suited, they would call you with king queen O. So that would be
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, but if you showed them ace king off, what are they gonna do?
Yeah. Then they'll fold ace queen. I'm not gonna show them my cards, Lewis. I'll tell you that much.
You gotta pay to see
This
those.
has been quite the enlightening study session.
Don't show your opponent your hand with action pending.
So
Yes.
Louis gambled for the bounty when he shouldn't have, and then didn't gamble when he
When he
should
should have.
Yeah.
Story of Louis' life.
Yeah. They're both close spots, but, yeah, he was on the wrong side of that lopsided coin flip.
Wow,
That's hard.
fuck it.
We've all been there.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, pairs are OP.
Yeah, no, they really are. Like, that's kind of like, anytime I think to myself, I find myself in one of these situations, I always edge towards the pairs.
It's more
Uh,
than a meme. Pairs are fucking good.
They are.
Not the small pairs on the bubble though.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Deuce. Nice.
So does
And
anyone
blue's
else?
gone.
Does anyone else have some hands to bring to the
I
table?
left for a week and blue is gone. I don't know.
I
I'd have
kind of
to-
I had a hand actually I wanted to look at. I'd have to dig it up though.
I could probably find some hands.
Let me open Yule Poker Crafter.
You can grab the screen if you want.
Did you make the final table, Louis? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. You won? Oh,
no, unfortunately.
nice.
what did we do here, Pete? You raised, you got called, you check, you bet a little large, which is probably pretty good actually here. He calls, check, 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 check. Maybe a cheap bluff on the river sometimes.
I think a
'Cause
bet
after you go,
turn. Bet turn.
well,
That's
I
good.
mean, after he bets a little bit large on the flop, you're probably supposed to play check. The 10 improves his calling range
No,
pretty good.
no, it's good for imposition, not for a big one. He has 9x, 5x. He has stuff in between, 6, 7, 8,
He bet
7.
large, though.
Yeah, everything up, these guys, right? Who knows what they do with it? But I think this is always a barrel.
I don't think so. Look at it.
So how do you?
I disavow your double barrel all the time. Disavow.
With 25 maybe?
What are we? Alright,
I think you prefer to barrel if you could you had a backdoor blocker, but I think this is gonna mix. Deuces is definitely gonna mix bluffing on the turn.
can we see the board one more time?
I do this a lot, man. I bluff these small pairs all the time.
King 9-5.
The question is like
Rainbow.
whether we have enough natural bluffs.
I
I
think you
think a lot
do.
of our natural bluffy stuff wants to play check on the turn, like you're gonna have pair plus equity a lot.
You're gonna have
Um,
like blocker, you're gonna have like spade, straight blocker stuff that's gonna be able to barrel.
But most of that is a pair except for ace jack,
Yeah,
ace queen.
What did he do? What did Pete do?
We took the
bet
bigger
large.
bet size on the flop.
He went
Oh.
large on the flop,
Okay.
which is why I don't wanna keep barreling in my mind.
Hmm.
So we
Hmm.
don't even have twos because you're too shallow. You gotta go to 30. But if you extrapolate what sevens and sixes are doing, or threes for that matter.
Dude, I'm in an all in or fold right now. There's still 4 of us left. And there's like 2 big blinds in play.
Yeah, that's tough when that happens.
Yeah, I won the small one this morning.
The small what?
All the
Oh, you mean the
flip and
the
go.
spin and go,
Flip and
flip and go? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm in like the little satty thing. Oh, they give me queens. It's over. No king dealer.
Just not a big bet on the flop. Is that what I'm seeing?
You're out of range construction problems. Pete.
No,
Yeah.
they gave it to him. No way.
We can't find deuces for you.
What the
I
f-
can't
Use
believe we
threes,
can't find the Louis Philippe.
Threes are analogous. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Just use the bottom pair in range. It's fine.
Look at
Doesn't
this,
really
Pete.
matter.
Okay, so it is using the big size, but we're too shallow to use it.
Clear barrel. No, you just barrel turn.
So
Fine.
ace
Yeah.
jack is
Bro,
blasting,
you
but
can't
ace queen
look at,
checks back.
you can't sit
Fire.
there and look,
Fire
and
away.
half of the combos are checking. And you can't say clear barrel.
Clear barrel. Fire away.
Can we
Half
look
of
at
the time,
range,
yeah.
please?
I
'Cause
mean, when
think,
you get to this node,
let's see what we got here.
So do
Yeah.
you have a diamond, Pete? That's an important question. Cause the
We
diamonds.
don't, which is what Lewis identified, right?
I think
Yeah,
so. But
But look at
honestly,
heart
the diamond,
spade.
yeah, the diamond is kinda like whatever.
Yeah, it's just mixing 50-50 here.
It doesn't want the club. That's what it is. Alright. It took my brain a
Okay.
sec there. Jesus.
So when we check,
Doesn't want
do
the
we
club.
bluff river here?
probably because you have like
I like bluffing river, I think, because on the check node, he should be barreling on the river with some of his value. I don't know how much he's gonna be checking there, but maybe he does some.
it's gonna do it because it's gonna be like 0.01 combos, probably less.
Please don't put a 5 out there, I'll cry. Oh my god, they put a 5 out there.
Yeah.
Don't ask for it,
Oh,
what you don't want, Galen.
he's
When we
crying.
barrel turn, we give up river. What about when we check turn?
Yeah. Give up river makes sense, obviously.
Wait, you can probably bluff river after.
Nah, you have better stuff to bluff.
So
You can overbet.
Oh,
now you want the heart.
Like 8 high, Lewis.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you want the heart. Now you want the heart.
Yeah, the ones with the hearts are the only
punt.
deuces that are bluffing. Okay, so this wasn't too bad then. So we could have jammed river here.
Check is fine though.
Do you have to jam? What's the other size? I mean, with deuces it is, but.
Pot and a half.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, it's pot.
Oh, is this serious?
Alright, show me what you got. What you working with here, Louis? I don't know why you leave it in this like, this gradient green.
I love the gradient. Everything, that's green is playing, and then you can see how good it is.
But sometimes, like, especially when there's ICM, that doesn't line up 1-to-1. Like,
It's
there's
only when
spots,
the range is split, I think, and you need to differentiate between a 3-bet or a call or
I,
whatever.
well, either way, like, my brain doesn't compute that, seeing green, shades of green in numbers.
How could
I
the
need to
range
see
be
like,
this wide?
What'd you mess up?
Nothing.
Some of the
What's-
parameters are wrong.
what's the jam? What did you give him 3-bet jamming?
Wait, what are you looking at even,
Yeah,
first of all?
The
there's
hand,
something goofy here.
7% of the range.
it's, I open, ace jack off and he jams into me. With this massive bounty.
Alright, how many big blind, did you put the amount of big blinds that you have correctly? Let's look at the
Yes.
table view.
15, 43.
So middle position is what you are, so that's correct. I mean, everything here looks okay.
Mhm.
Is
I don't
like
know
the
what you-
average stack and the players left, is that all in the prize pool? Did you fix the prize pool, Louis?
Yeah, that's kinda what I'm thinking is like,
Yeah.
the prize pool may be,
The
Prize
bounty
pool,
size relative to
it's
the
fine.
payouts.
I doubled all the bounties. We have the exact pay structure,
yeah, the pay structure
Oh,
looks
is that,
good.
okay.
exact.
You have 33 places paid. Um,
Oh, that's it? That's
33
why.
places
That's not
paid.
the
Now,
pay structure. You said there's
go to
200
the,
left.
yeah, go to the next,
Okay,
the next.
maybe I need another structure actually.
25 classic.
I always
Oh no,
put
we
in,
need PKO.
I personally, and it takes a long time, but I personally always like manually put in
Alright.
the exact structure.
Yeah, because when, for vanilla, it may not matter, but with a bounty, you need the bounty size relative to the payouts to be correct. So it has to be the correct buy-in, basically.
It
Or like,
matters more, it does matter
yeah.
more. It does.
it should be the exact one, if you can.
I can share some cash game
I can look at
hands.
the 1290 from today and let
I
you
wanna,
know.
I wanna see some cash game hands.
Louis,
Yes, let's go. I need some powers.
Bounty Hunter Special 1290. It's like 3K up top.
I clicked
You
on
want me to
stop
read it
share.
to you?
You should be able to grab it, right?
Oh, no,
Oh,
you're still
I think
sharing.
you're still sharing.
Uh-oh. It's crashing.
Uh-oh.
If anything, I'll just be right back. Yep. Crashing.
It's funny how he knows it, but he's still here until.
Well, everything is white, but it says not responding.
It's your computer, not the internet, right?
Yeah, it's because I'm running hands, I guess.
Mhm.
You know what? You know what? Next time you want to do a sim for like before a study session, just like if I'm working at home, just send it to me because like obviously you want to play the day before and you can't run it before. I mean, unless you run the night before, I guess.